Yay Networks.
Welcome to another episode of A Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast. Thank you for joining us. I'm Kellie Raspberry Evans on this podcast, professionally known just as Kellie Raspberry. But this is my husband, Alan Evans.
Hey, trained in the house.
You're the reason for the Evans.
Well, you know what?
What?
Legally, I'm Walter Evans, and my stage name is Alan Evans. So there, I have one too. I have a stage name too.
No, you don't.
Oh, no, I don't really.
You don't.
I just go by Alan.
But I am Kellie Raspberry, proud to be Evans. When I hear Mrs. Evans, I'm like, oh, that's me.
Is that what you do?
I do. That's me. I always put my hand on my chest like, oh.
You're not looking for my mom when you hear that?
No.
Speaking of my mom, I ate like a king tonight.
Alan's mom is the best.
Oh.
She just makes food whenever.
Just
because she knows I'm not a great cook.
That's not why she does it.
Bless her heart. I don't care why she does it. I appreciate it.
Well, just because maybe she wants me to keep a good, healthy weight.
Because your wife's not feeding you? It's fine. I am so appreciative. But whenever we have all the kids, she'll send over a plate of something. I mean, just a whole casserole of something. And when the... What are you doing? When the... sorry, Alan just threw me off.
Just keep talking.
When there was the Texas
podcast
terrible winter storm we had... and his parents were without power, Alan went and bought him a bucket of fried chicken, and I made them some homemade macaroni and cheese and sent it over in a casserole dish. So she didn't just return the casserole dish. She returned it with beef stew, and it was just, was it beef stew? It was like a roast. It was beef roast.
It was a beef stew with potatoes,
broccoli,
carrots, mushrooms.
Broccolini.
And broccolini, yeah.
Broccolini, which is better than broccoli.
Oh,
it's fancy.
Babe. It was great.
So that was cool and very sweet. So Alan ate like a king tonight. But it's really funny. Alan's parents went out of town for their anniversary, their 51st anniversary. They flew to Vegas for a few days. And while they were gone, they had a frozen meat delivery.
They did.
And so they asked us to go pick it up. And so I ran over there and got it. It was a big styrofoam cooler. I couldn't stick the whole cooler in the freezer. It was too big. So I had to open it up, take out the dry ice, and put all the meat in there. Y'all. Alan's mother's from the Philippines, and she cooks authentic Filipino dishes. There were pig hearts in there. What else was in there, honey?
Salmon.
Well, I mean, salmon. That's not shocking. But it was like really interesting body parts.
Italian sausage.
Everything. Pig hearts was the most shocking thing.
Yeah.
But anyway.
There was the things we have at the restaurant. Pork belly.
Pork belly.
Pork belly's in there.
She had like normal stuff too, but that's interesting. She doesn't send over the pig hearts, but I don't know what she's going to do with them.
I don't either. I've never eaten a pig heart.
Really? She wouldn't serve that to you and just say afterwards, hey, how'd you like that? You know that was pig heart.
No. I mean, she'd tell me, but I'd try it. I'd probably try it.
My mother Price did that to me. My mother Price fooled me one time. I went over to her house.
Leg?
No, it was deer. And, it's just a mental thing. And so I'm sitting there, and my mother grew up with a daddy who hunted, and it was from, we were in South Carolina, Mullen, South Carolina. And my mother said
South Kakalaki.
She remembers being a child eating squirrel stew. And my daddy boy, it was daddy boy and mother Price, daddy boy would hunt squirrel. And when they make squirrel stew, what do they do with the heads? They put them in the stew, in the rice. And mama said she would take a spoon and crack the skull, and you'd eat out the brains.
Yeah.
And when she was old enough to realize what she was doing, she stopped. So, and I'm like sitting there like, I only eat, like chicken and cow. So one time my mother Price made food, and it was kind of chewy, and it kind of tasted different. I don't know what it was. And at the end of the dinner, she's like, did you like that? You just had deer. I got up from the table and, because I was just a kid, I ran to the bathroom and threw up because I was so upset that I ate a deer. Anyway,
why were you upset you ate a deer?
Because it just traumatized me. I was a child.
But you would eat a cow.
It's because we're just, cows are normalized.
Normal, I see.
Yeah, it's normalized. Fish are normalized, chicken, cows, pigs.
But deer aren't normalized?
Deer wasn't normalized to me.
It's kind of classified as game. I'll eat the deer. I'll eat the wild pig. I'd try a pork heart. But this guy, what has 2 thumbs and ain't eating squirrel? This guy.
Why would you not eat squirrel when you eat dove and pigeon and all that?
Dove is really good. You can make
Why wouldn't you eat squirrel?
because a squirrel's a rodent. I'm out. I don't
So
eat
is rabbit,
I don't
right?
eat. No, a
Basically?
rabbit is not a rodent. But I wouldn't eat. I wouldn't eat a rabbit either. But this guy,
don't know.
I ain't eating a rat. I ain't eating a squirrel. I ain't eating a mouse.
I'm just telling you.
Unless
that was the deal.
I was starving, then I probably would.
Yeah, there's a lot of people think they wouldn't do something until, oh, I'm gonna die if I don't do this. Okay, I'll do it.
I'd pull a
And
bear.
it might not be about eating; it might be other things.
I'd pull a Bear Grylls and dig a big grub out of a tree. Have you seen him do
The
that?
thing about Bear Grylls that bothers me is you ain't surviving. You're doing this for entertainment.
Yes.
There, and all these celebrities that go with him on these day-and-a-half hikes in the wilderness.
Yeah.
I ain't hungry enough after 24 hours to eat that crap. I'm just not. I would have to go many, many days hungry before I would consider eating some of that crap. I'm sorry. That's why I can never be on Bear Grylls. I don't know why any celebrity would agree to do that. How desperate are you?
Babe, you are on the on Bear Grylls' list
The
of people
bottom of the list.
people who he thinks he could maybe
No
bring. You know where you
frickin'
are?
way.
You know where you are? You're not. You're down like 1 million on the list.
Not happening.
Not because of stature, just because of your ability to survive in the wild.
I don't need adventure at this point in my life. I don't need adrenaline rushes. I don't need to eat crap that I don't care. I'm fine. Our friend Patrick with Operation Once in a Lifetime. What is the group that he's wanting me to jump with? It's sort of like the Blue Angels
I think they're called the Golden Knights.
They're like the Blue Angels of
Skydiving. I'm gonna go.
Go. But he is like peer pressuring. I'm like, Patrick, I don't care.
He's not peer pressuring you.
Yes, he is. He's like, Kelly, come on, you can do it. I'm like, I'm not jumping. I don't care. I'm not jumping out of the plane. Did you not see The Bachelor last week? Did you not see The Bachelor when Rachel bit it?
What Dingledorf do? Did he break a leg or something?
No, he didn't. But the girl that Rachel, she bit it. She landed face first from a plane.
Was she tandem or by herself?
Tandem.
Well, that's how we would go, is tandem.
And other people I don't care. I'm not doing it. And I said, there's nothing you can do. I cannot be shamed into it.
But you'd be okay with...
I cannot be bribed
You'd be
into
okay
it.
with me going up there and jumping out of a plane.
That's you. If you want to do that, you do it.
Really?
If that's what you want to do. I trust that they are experienced enough that you will be fine.
I wouldn't say that...
I'm not doing it.
I wouldn't say that that's what I want to do, but Patrick said, well, since Kelly's not doing it, you want to do it?
I'm not doing
I'm
it.
like, well...
There's no way. And people can try to shame me into doing stuff. I'm past the point of being ashamed.
Oh, yeah, guys, Kelly's not going to do it. And here's
No.
why. And here's why. I can tell you why. Last summer, I wanted to capture Kelly jumping off our platform into a pool, into a 6-foot deep pool.
Yeah.
Now,
I'm scared of heights.
The heights. The platform, Dylan can hang from the platform and his legs are in the water. It's probably 2.5 or 3 feet above the water.
That's right.
It's a stone platform. Kelly got on that thing
I'm not doing it.
and froze.
I don't like that.
She panicked.
I don't like feeling like I could get hurt.
How would you get hurt?
I don't know. I just feel like I could get hurt.
You were just going to jump
You know
off that
what?
platform like
That's
a
the
polar
thing.
bear.
But it's the thing. You get to a certain age in life, like old people, and I don't think I'm necessarily old at this point, but I am getting there. I think I'm having sort of a midlife crisis, y'all. I've been really in a funk lately. It's really bad. But I don't think I'm old enough yet where I could just say whatever the hell I want and there's no consequences. I'm not there yet, but I am past the point where you can shame me into doing a lot of stuff.
Right.
The majority of things.
Oh, I'm the same way. You can't shame me into doing anything. I'm either going to do it or not.
But I am having a bit of a midlife crisis, honey. It's
Sorry,
been kind
babe.
of hard.
I'm sorry.
It's been hard. I've been in a bit of a funk lately, y'all.
Would
I don't know. I just can't,
should we do a little something and then go into this more? And
I don't really need a
deep
therapy
dive?
session at this point. It's not fun to listen to somebody going through a midlife crisis. But, I'm getting ready. Alan's turning the big 50 this year. We've talked about that. And the only time I ever cried on my birthday was when I was 24. I was 24 years old, and I was standing in my apartment bathroom in Marietta, Georgia, And I was getting ready to go to work at Ruby Tuesdays. And I was I've talked about this, haven't I?
Many
I
times.
was putting on
Your
this
khakis.
is the only birthday I've ever cried. I had
Your
khaki pants.
Your pleated
I had to,
khakis.
yes. I had to wear these black tennis shoes
Oh,
because you
no.
could slip and bust your ass on the
Wait a minute.
greasy floor.
Black tennis shoes with khakis.
With khakis. And I could wear I had to wear a pastel button down Oxford shirt. So it could be either yellow or pink or white or blue or green, whatever. It had to be a pastel or white button down Oxford shirt with the navy blue apron.
What kind of hair were you sporting? A little fro? Mini fro?
Probably like what I have now.
Oh, well, that's not. I like your hair now.
I don't even know.
But it wasn't the mini fro.
No, I probably had a perm. I don't even know.
You had a perm.
Well, I was 24, so it would have been I was born in 67, so it would be 1991. So I'm standing there in the bathroom, and I look at myself in the mirror on my birthday, and I just burst into tears. I'm like, this is not where I thought I'd be. You know, you have dreams for yourself, but it's like, that's the only birthday I've ever cried at. I threw myself a 30th birthday. I threw myself a 40th. On the 50th, I said, y'all, I'm out. I've thrown myself my major parties. Y'all take care of it. And now Alan's turning 50. It's all about him. I'm going to be 54 this year. And I don't know that it's the number that's bothering me as much as what I see when I look in the mirror. Because I'm starting to look in the mirror and I'm like, is that me? You ever have that feel like that's not me. That's me though. When I look in the mirror.
Do you think it has anything to do with your husband also being in his 50s?
I don't know. I'm just having this I'm just in a funk.
Your thoughts of ever having a boy toy, those are over? I'm not a boy.
Oh no.
I'm not a boy
I haven't
toy.
given up that dream.
I'm not a boy toy anymore.
Oh, you meant you. Oh.
Okay, you want to do a little something, or are we going to do this one?
I know.
This entire thing
I was
for
just
free
having
here?
a moment.
Oh, okay. Well, you can keep having a moment, but we got to do.
Let me tell you. This actually is a good transition.
There you go.
This.
There you go.
All right. You know, all the cool people. What are they doing? They're meditating, right? They say, you know, the cool people that you follow on social media, all the celebrities, they're like, yeah, I finally, after all my stress, I found peace through meditation. I sleep like a baby. I'm more focused. But have you ever tried to meditate? Because I don't even know how do you know if you're doing it right or not. Well, if mental health is part of your self-care plan this year, you owe it to yourself to try Headspace. Even if you have just 10 minutes a day, Headspace can change your life. Headspace is your daily dose of mindfulness in the form of guided meditations in an easy-to-use app. Headspace is one of the only meditation apps advancing the field of mindfulness and meditation through clinically validated research. So whatever the situation, Headspace really can help you feel better. If you're overwhelmed, Headspace has a 3-minute SOS meditation for you. If you need help falling asleep, Headspace has a wind down session that their members swear by. For parents, Headspace even has morning meditations you can do with your kids. Headspace's approach to mindfulness can reduce stress, improve sleep, boost focus, increase your overall sense of well-being. Now, before Headspace, I always thought to meditate what? You sit cross-legged on the floor, you put your middle finger to your thumb, you burn incense, and you say, Om. I don't know why you're saying Om, but that's what I thought meditation was. That ain't me. And that's not Headspace. With Headspace, it's easy to build a life-changing meditation practice that works for you on your schedule, anytime, anywhere. In fact, they've done research. It shows that just 30 days of Headspace can lower stress levels by 32%. In as little as 10 days, you can be 28% less sad.
And you deserve to feel happier, and Headspace is meditation made simple. Go to headspace.com/sandwich. That's headspace.com/sandwich for free 1-month trial with access to Headspace's full library of meditations for every situation. This is the best deal offered right now. Head to headspace.com/sandwich today.
Thank you for focusing on that, honey.
Love Headspace.
All right, so enough of me and my midlife
Okay,
crisis.
but wait a
We all
second.
go through it.
This is a good segue. You were talking about how you're at the point in your life where you're not going to try anything adventuresome. Before you went into the
not to risk injury. or risk whatever. I don't need an adrenaline rush. That doesn't mean I won't go do stuff.
Okay, well, here's the deal.
But I don't want to jump off a cliff with a parachute attached to my back. I don't want to, why? Like, you remember George Bush? Senior?
Mm-hmm.
Not George W. George H.W.
H.W. Bush.
May you rest in peace.
Yes.
He started jumping out of planes when he was like 80. I'm like, why?
Well, no, he was
Why?
he was in the Navy.
But he's kept jumping out when he was old.
Oh, yeah.
And he was doing it like when he was 90 or something.
Okay, well, where I was going was
I don't need to do that.
we're going to talk about on this podcast how Kelly is doing something somewhat out of the box in March.
That's true.
Here in a few days. I'm basically stuffing her in a rolling home, and we're going to roll down to South Texas in an RV.
I guess this is a taste of what you want our retirement plan to be. So you're kind
Yes.
of dipping my toe in the water.
Yes, because when we get to retirement age, I will force you to sell all your personal belongings, including your jewelry, your watch,
He's joking.
everything you've worked for
He's joking.
for 30 years, everything you've ever worked
why
for.
are you poking the bear? Why are you doing that?
and,
It's not funny.
and we're going to get an RV. No, I'm just saying we're going to get an RV.
It's not cute. Don't do that.
We're going to get an RV.
We're not selling everything.
Why do I talk like this?
We might have
I
we
don't
might be your
know.
neighbor that has the RV parked in the front of the house, and all the HOA gets mad. That's who we're gonna be.
I honestly don't think I'd ever have my own, and here's why. Because the one I want is like really, really expensive,
And we ain't getting that.
and I ain't doing that. I'd rather have another house than have that, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we're going on an RV trip, so we're going to talk about that.
Yeah, I got some stuff I need to run by you.
What do you mean?
Well, part of our trip is we're going to pass through Fredericksburg, Texas, if you're familiar. It's a winery area. And there's a shuttle bus you can get on, and it's $40 per person, basically. And they just drive you around to the wineries, but it's from 10 to 6. And you got to wait in line to get on the shuttle. So I tried to call to see about getting a private car today. It's a little bit expensive.
Oh, yeah?
I don't know if we're going to do that.
Oh,
But I
okay.
got to let them know.
Well, we might as well just talk about it now. We're already talking about it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna pick up an RV, and this is the same one. If you've been listening to the podcast for a while, about this time last year, I took my boys and my mom and dad on an RV trip. First time any of us had ever been on one. We went from here down through Midland, Odessa, Abilene, Midland, Odessa, down to Alpine, all the way down to Big Bend in Texas, way down there. And it was just gorgeous. We just had the best time. Came back up through Carlsbad, looked at the caverns, and then cut all the way back over and came home. And we just had the coolest time. I just thought it was so cool that I thought, well, maybe we can do it again this year.
Let's ruin it with Kelly.
And I'm going to bring my wife. And we're going to see how this goes.
We're going to see. It'll be fine.
But we're going somewhere different. We're going south this time. We're going south, but not southwest. We're going south to Fredericksburg.
We only have a week. That's the thing. And so how far can you really go in an RV in a week? Because the point is stop, camp, enjoy the area. So we're staying within the state of Texas. But since Allen went west, we're like, well, this time let's go south.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And I've never been to Fredericksburg.
Yeah. When you went hog hunting, I went to Fredericksburg with a couple of my girlfriends, and we did this wine tour, which is really cool. From 10 to 6, there's a bus that runs through all the wineries, and you get on, get off, whatever. But that's it at 6 o'clock. If you're not back, I don't know how you're gonna get home if you don't get on that bus. But it was a lot of fun. But the thing about Fredericksburg is it's such a small town. It shuts down at night. It shuts down. There is nothing happening.
Well, that's when you roll back to the RV.
Yeah, there's like one restaurant and one bar that's open. That was in our experience.
Open a
Now,
can
we might
of-
have hit it at an off time.
Open
I
a
don't
can
know.
of Beanie Weenies.
Yeah, so we're gonna do that. But I did call. I was like, man, do we want to do the bus? And we looked into doing a private car rental, but it's $125 an hour, 4-hour minimum.
Nah, we're not doing that.
Nah,
We're not.
I didn't think you'd go for that. $500.
Nah, we're not doing
I didn't think you'd go for that.
Nah, we're not doing that.
Oh, well. So Al and I are going to be on the tour bus. So we're going to take an RV there, park it, and then we're going to spend the day during the wine tour, which I think will be fun.
Mm-hmm.
We've never really gotten to do that. And then the next day, we're going to head to Corpus Christi.
Yeah, so I guess, let's see, we pick up the RV Friday. We'll be in Fredericksburg Saturday, Sunday, and then Corpus, we should be there by Monday.
Yeah.
So we'll get
and
to...
I've never been to Corpus Christi.
I've been once, and I was a little kid, so I
Yeah.
don't remember it.
Do you know that's Farrah Fawcett's hometown?
Did not know that.
May she rest in peace. But yeah, so we're going to go there. And I understand the very first Whataburger's there. So we're going to go
We got to
check
check
that out.
We got to check that out.
And I think we're able to park the RV on the beach.
On the beach.
So we're really excited about it. And we're going to be podcasting, even though we're going to be on spring break, we're still going to be able to podcast while we're taking a little tour of Texas.
We'll go through San Antone. I know we have a lot of podcast listeners in San Antone.
Well,
so
if we are able to, we should maybe stop and say hey.
we may stop there for a little Mexican food. And hey, we may just say, we're here. Chirp, chirp. Come see us on
Chirp, chirp.
Come see us on the RV.
Chirp chirp implies nobody answers.
Right. I do want to see.
Well, if you're listening and you're in Fredericksburg or you're in Corpus Christi or you're in San Antonio,
well, I know
or
one of
anyway along those paths, let us know. Maybe we'll say hey.
I know one of our very, very best customers, Sin Galvan from San Antone. She's in San Antone.
Well, then we definitely need to see her.
I hadn't seen Sin in a while. It's the last time she rescued me from being Allen drunk. I think that was the last time I was as drunk as I was at our recent party. Remember that when we went to San Antonio?
I don't remember you being that bad off.
Or was it
but
Austin?
I might be having
Were we in Austin?
We were in Austin.
We're in Austin. She met us in Austin.
Yeah, but I don't remember you being that bad, but maybe I'm just not remembering.
Babe, I almost stuck my face in the pizza. Remember we were eating pizza at
I remember you were going to sleep.
2 a.m. and I almost stuck my face in the pizza.
Yeah, I guess I remember that.
And then we took a photo, and then my hand was like, hello, hand. It was really very awkward. Remember that?
Oh, God. Maybe Sin doesn't want to see us.
Yeah.
After all that.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what we got coming up on the agenda. So that'll be a lot of fun. So hopefully y'all will join us for a couple of podcasts next week.
Because we're going to do them from the RV, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. We're going to need a good Wi-Fi.
We're going to do our best.
We're going to do our best.
We'll try to do we record the podcasts on our YouTube channel for A Sandwich and Some Lovin'. We'll try, but if not, we'll still record a podcast and get that uploaded to you.
You know what the listeners, the good, strong listener wants from you on this trip?
Me?
Yes. Yes. Guaranteed.
You're assuming. You haven't asked
I am
anyone.
assuming. I am guarantee, though, they want blog content from one Kelly Raspberry Evans on your true feelings about this trip.
Well,
Like a little diary, a travel journal.
we'll see.
We have the tools and technology to do that. KellieandAllen.com/blog.
Yeah. Because I'm kind of concerned about going to the bathroom and showering on an RV.
Okay.
So what
let's
I've
explore.
done-
Let's explore these feelings. What's wrong?
What I've done is I've bought a bunch of body wipes. My goal is to shower as little as possible while we're gone.
That's more hot water for me.
Because Alan says we're going. I've never been RVing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I know you go to these campsites, and I've been told that the campsites, some of them are very nice and clean and everything.
Have nice showers.
But I don't know. I might be seeing how far I can go with just body wipes. That's terrible.
You're gonna start getting ripe.
That's terrible.
You're gonna start getting ripe.
No, sometimes you get like hospital grade body wipes.
You're gonna go.
That's like for people that are like bedridden.
Yeah, I know, Kelly.
So-
She's gonna go 2 days, and she's gonna hear me in there taking a nice hot shower, and she's gonna get in there and take a nice hot shower.
I don't know. We'll see.
Why? Why?
I don't know. I have never showered in an RV or an RV rest stop.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm going to take body wash and shampoo and all that stuff just in case. Y'all, I can't believe I'm admitting that, but I'm taking a ton of body wipes.
Jeez.
Is that terrible?
No, it's
Did you
fine.
buy the egg crate mattress thing today?
Yeah.
So at the mattresses on RVs, if you ever want one, are painful. They're painful. They're like, you might as well be sleeping on a piece of plywood.
Listen to you,
right?
and you've never slept on one.
No, but I sat on one when y'all got the original RV, so I knew how bad it was.
Yeah, they're tough.
So we got an egg crate to sleep on, right?
3-inch egg crate on top of the 2-inch mattress.
And I'm gonna buy a lot of Febreze because I'm not gonna be showering.
And just think, after we retire, this is going to be our life.
No, it's not. But you know what? You look at these. I took Alan to an RV show not many years ago, like a year and a half, 2 years ago, I guess now. And they have some really luxury RVs, which, that's different. This is like one of those, the smallest one you can rent almost. Anyway, we'll see how it goes.
It's 25 foot.
I will try really hard to be a good sport. I can't promise that I'll be a good sport, but I'll try to be a good sport. I am a poor sport. I'll be honest. I'm not good at losing. I'm not a team player. I didn't play team sports growing up. I will try really hard to be a good sport and be the woman that Alan thinks he married.
Here's the deal. If you're not being a good sport, I'm just going to drop you off in San Antonio. You can take a one-way Southwest flight back to Love Field.
Deal.
And then I'll continue on.
Deal.
Solo. Han Solo.
Deal. I don't know. I mean, I will try.
Well, it's going to be fun. You're going to have a good time.
Alan has gotten, with Alan, I have done more than I've probably ever done. I don't know. You get me to do things I would never do otherwise. So
give me some.
Thank you. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Thank you.
What have I gotten you to do?
I don't run down a beach in a bikini, which you keep posting on social media.
You love that. I love that.
I mean, I know you love it.
Babe, your face in that is just, it's so great.
I can't believe I did it. You got me
just having so much fun.
That was the first time you got me to wear a bikini, and I can't tell you, I haven't worn a bikini since I was a child, and you got me to wear a bikini, and
yes,
just different things that it's like, screw it.
I put it on my Instagram at the Alonzo 1971. If you want to see Kelly Raspberry running down a beach in slow motion,
from a few years ago,
in a bikini,
a few years ago, I was
find it on my Instagram.
I was in the process of wedding dieting, so I was a little bit thinner then, but. Yeah,
you were like bounce with me.
Not too bad. I was really pleased. I wasn't jiggling as much as I thought I would be. But Alan posted that in honor of International Women's Day.
Yes, International Women's Day.
I should say. I think it's plural.
Yes.
And we're recording this on March the 8th, which is International Women's Day. But the entire month of March is celebrated as Women's Month. And because of that, I decided just to share a couple of women that inspire me in my life. So I want to get to that. And I wish we could have like a back and forth where we could take phone calls and things like that. And just because there's so many inspiring women out there. But before we get to that, real quick, A Sandwich and Some Lovin', our podcast, we absolutely love FrameBridge. They make it easier, more affordable than ever to frame your favorite things without ever having to leave the house. And I remember when I was a child going to the frame store with my mama, and we would be there for what felt like hours picking out the right frame, the right mat, and the prices were just outrageous. And not only that, you had to wait weeks and weeks for it to get back to the frame store. You had to go pick it up. After all that, it was so much hassle and so expensive. But FrameBridge has changed all of that, from art prints and diplomas to the photos that are sitting right there on your phone. And those photos are awesome. They're frame worthy. You can FrameBridge just about anything. Go to framebridge.com, upload your photo, or they'll send you the packaging to safely mail in your physical pieces. Preview your item online in dozens of frame styles, gallery wall layouts. Choose your favorite or get free recommendations from their talented designers. It's free, their recommendations. And the experts at FrameBridge will custom frame your item. They'll deliver your finished piece directly to your door, ready to hang. And instead of the hundreds you would have paid at a framing store, FrameBridge's prices start at $39, and all shipping is free. And our listeners get 15% off their first order at framebridge.com when you use our code SANDWICH. We've trusted FrameBridge with everything from our wedding photos to framed custom artwork. We've always been beyond happy with their work, with their customer service, and we love recommending FrameBridge to you.
So get started today. Frame your photos or send someone the perfect gift by going to framebridge.com and use promo code SANDWICH to save an additional 15% off your first order. Just go to framebridge.com, promo code SANDWICH. One more time for good measure. babe. Framebridge.com. Promo code sandwich.
All right. So, International Women's Day. So, there's actually a website, and I went to it because I was like, okay, let's celebrate women. I'm every woman. It's all in me. Anything, you something, baby, something like that. Anyway.
How about, what are some other Power Woman songs?
I am woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big to ignore. Something like that.
What about?
I'm going to. What is that? What is that?
That's that.
Oh, I'm going out tonight. I'm feeling all right. I'm gonna let it all hang out. Man, I feel like a woman. I'm cutting to the chorus. Oh, and Beyonce, who runs the world? Girls. Okay. So anyway, International Women's Day is celebrated officially March 8th around the world. There were so many activities today. By the time you're hearing this podcast, the official International Women's Day is past, but it's celebrated through the entire month of March. So March 8th is a global day celebrating the social, economic, cultural, and political achievements of women. The day also marks a call to action for accelerating women's equality. International Women's Day has occurred for well over a century. Were you aware of that?
I was not.
The first gathering was in 1911.
Whoa.
I had no idea. It was supported by over 1 million people at that time. Crazy. But today, International Women's Day belongs to all groups collectively everywhere. It's not country, group, or organization specific. All right. So they changed the theme of International Women's Day every year. And this year, the theme is #ChooseToChallenge. Okay. A challenged world is an alert world. Individually, we are all responsible for our own thoughts and actions all day, every day. We can all choose to challenge and call out gender bias and inequality. We can all choose to seek out and celebrate women's achievements. Collectively, we can all help create an inclusive world. From challenge comes change, so let's all choose to challenge. So here's the thing that I, raised as a Southern lady, a Southern belle, in South Carolina, always had a problem with, and I've learned to reframe my thinking as I've gotten older. Whenever I heard the term feminist, I always associated that with an angry woman, right? That's really not what it's about. I think sometimes, a lot of times, the activists that really force change to happen are the loudest voices, the most forceful voices, sometimes the angry voices that make things happen. So whenever I, as a child growing up, heard the term feminist, I pictured really angry women that also hated men. And that's not true necessarily either. I believe, like for me, I am pro-woman. I want women to succeed. I want them, I want girls to grow up and feel like they can do anything they want to do. But I also don't believe that men are the enemy, that they are the bad guy, I think together, if you find a good man that can lift you up and be a partner, right?
Mm-hmm.
There are some bad men out there, and we have seen them come to light, with the #MeToo movement and all that. Completely understand there are bad men out there that take advantage of women, that hold women down. But we also need to, celebrate the men that are good guys. Okay. So I think I'm pro-woman, but I've always hesitated to say that I am a feminist because I associated that negative. Does that make sense? How do you feel about the word feminist?
The word feminist?
Yeah. Do you feel the same negative connotation?
Yeah. I think the way you kind of explained it is, I guess, the first thing that comes to mind for me.
It's negative.
It probably shouldn't be like that.
And it shouldn't be, because you can be pro-women without being anti-men, right? But you want to call out when things aren't fair. And you want to it's like now we take it for granted that we can vote. We take it for granted. But women had to fight and be called every name in the book and, have things thrown at them. It was really a huge struggle just to get the right to vote, things we take for granted now, and so anyway, I appreciate the struggles of the women that have come before who have been angry enough to make change. And, but also I love men, and I love
Thank you.
men. Yes, but and I'm not a man hater.
We love
I
you
think there's
too.
a good balance, right?
I love
I
women.
just want to say that. So I think, in essence,
I love women supporting women too.
I think I am a feminist, but I'm not a man hater.
I hope
Does
not.
that make sense? All right. So anyway, I decided that because of International Women's Day, even though you're listening to this today late, I wanted to tell you about a few women, just a handful, because I could talk forever, of women who inspire me. And since the theme this year is choose to challenge, the first woman I'm going to tell you about who's challenged me, unbeknownst to her, is Tara Lee Cobble. Now, at the beginning of the year, I said one of the things, I don't know if it's a bucket list or a to-do list. Alan and I debate on this all the time.
I'm a master debater.
You are. I wanted to read the Bible front to back. I wanted to read it in its entirety. I was raised in Florence Christian School. I went to Florence Baptist Temple every time the doors were open. I have been a Christian 4 decades plus. I have never read the Bible all the way through. So when I made this known, people started recommending to me the Bible Recap. It's a podcast, and Tara Lee Cobble writes it, and she hosts it every week. And what it is she gives, and it is a chronological. So my original plan was to read the Bible, Genesis to Revelation, and just go in order. But with the Bible Recap, you're actually reading the Bible in chronological order, so it bounces around a little bit. But the thing about it is Tara gives you these little bite-sized chunks to read, maybe 2 or 3 chapters. So it's nothing that's overwhelming.
Tidbits?
They're like chunks.
Oh.
2 or 3 chapters. And then you go back and you listen to her recap, Bible recap.
Break it down for you.
What you just read. I will tell you, it has been so eye-opening for me. I would read a passage and stuff, sometimes it just like, you're just reading to get through it and you're like, I don't even know. She has gone back and explained passages to me. Like I said, I was raised in Florence Baptist Temple every time the doors were open. I never knew that about some of the scripture, because not only is she reading it, she studied it, and she's read the Bible through multiple times. So I've really appreciated that. Now, granted, right now I'm about a week behind on my reading, but Tara Lee Cobble is her name, the woman I'm talking about. She is so encouraging. She's like, look, if you're behind, don't beat yourself up. You've probably at this point read more of the Bible than you have your entire life. And that's, I read passages here when you jump around in the church. You know what I'm saying? When the pastor says, jump to this chapter, you read that verse. But to read it continuously through, this is the most I've ever done. So I'm about a week behind. But I just really appreciate Tara Lee Cobble, and I think it's a ministry, and that she challenges me to keep on keeping on. And it's actually been a real pleasure, because I'm seeing things that I never knew were there, and they've been there the entire time. Okay, so my second woman is Cheryl Action Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Cheryl Action Jackson. Now, I first met her when she won a contest. Good Morning America, I believe it was. It might have been the Today Show. Apples and oranges. But they were having a contest where you could have the movie Home. It was a cartoon. Remember Rihanna and Jim Parsons were in it? And there was a big contest to have them come to your hometown. And so she just happened to be watching TV one day and said, I'm going to enter this because I think there was some sort of cash, a monetary prize to go to your charity. And Cheryl runs Minnie's Food Pantry, which is based out of Plano, Texas. And she's just a wonderful person. So she entered the contest and she won. And we had her on our radio show, and I met her at that time. And she was so passionate and enthusiastic about feeding people. And she's like, even if I can just feed one person, I've made a difference in one person's life. So she named it in honor of her mother. And Cheryl has big dreams. And she's like, I want Oprah to come to a fundraiser for me. Well, guess what happened? Oprah Winfrey came to Plano, Texas.
Get out of here.
For a fundraiser, because Cheryl, the reason she got her nickname, I didn't even know this. She was talking to a local news personality. They were just brainstorming, I guess. And he said, you really should have your own radio show. And she's like, really? She said he got a phone call and went outside to take a phone call. By the time he came back, she had already made 4 phone calls to get booked on radio shows. And he's like, man, you're Cheryl Action Jackson. And she said that just stuck and she ran with it. So that's her nickname, right?
Okay, yeah. That's a cool way to get a nickname.
So I was reading this interview I found with her
I got
on
mine
a
from
website.
Jeff.
What A-Train you did? It's called Equipped by Faith. And they asked Cheryl where her Minnie's Food Pantry idea came from.
Okay.
She said, it came from a place of pain within me. I struggled with experiencing hunger myself when I couldn't make ends meet and had to apply for food stamps. I was working 5 jobs and was denied because I was making too much money, but I couldn't afford food. I received a food donation, opened the box, and everything was either expired or foreign. The only thing I remember was beets, and I won't eat beets to this day. She said, so I founded Minnie's Food Pantry to honor my mother, the late Dr. Minnie Hawthorne Ewing. I had no blueprint when I started, just a whisper from God saying, treat people how you want to be treated. Now I've gone from a place of pain to providing more than 11 million meals to children and families through Minnie's. Our staff and over 20,000 volunteers are transforming lives daily. We've expanded operations from a small 500 square foot building to over 28,000 square foot building featuring an empowerment training center and a social enterprise store. And when they asked Cheryl what advice she would give to other women who are looking for their purpose, because don't you often ask yourself, I've done this. What is my purpose? Why am I here? It has to be more than just lather, rinse, repeat every day. I have to have a point, right?
Doing bits.
Right. Cheryl said, most of the time when you find a place of pain in your life, you will find your passion and calling somewhere in that area.
That's good advice.
Because when you experience pain or you are empathetic to someone else's pain, that's when you decide, I want to do something about that. And that's when that can become your mission and your passion. And for her, it's been Minnie's Food Pantry. So for me, if I look at areas where I have experienced pain from my childhood traumas, teenage traumas, young women, there's somewhere in there that I have had pain. And I'm like, I now have learned coping skills or I've overcome pain and trauma. So how can I direct that passion into doing something good? I think that she's a very inspirational woman. Look up Cheryl Action Jackson if you want to be inspired. She's a beautiful person. And Minnie's Food Pantry if you're looking for some place to donate, because she does very good work.
No, that's great work.
Yeah. I could go on, but we could also talk about, the historical figures who have made change. But those are 2 very real women who I'm inspired by.
Absolutely.
And make me want to do better,
Mm-hmm.
The thing about, you should always surround yourself with people who are actually kind of doing better than you, right? Because don't you want to aspire to be like them?
Yeah.
I mean, like they say,
I think that's right.
Yeah, you don't ever want to be the smartest person in the room. That's what they always say.
You want to be surrounded by a bunch of other smarter people.
Because you want to aspire.
It's been the story of my life.
So if you're looking for something, if you're longing for something, and trust me, Kid Craddock, may he rest in peace, the Kid Craddock morning show used to always ask
Nationally
me,
syndicated.
what's your passion? I'm like, I don't have a passion. I'm not passionate about anything. I like to eat. I like to go out to restaurants, but that's not
You like to shop.
necessarily a passion.
You like to
I
save.
like to bargain.
You like
shop.
to save money.
But that's not something where I feel like I'm giving back.
You like to tell me to pick that stuff off the mirror in the bathroom.
See, why are you taking this beautiful moment and turning it into that, honey?
I was just throwing in a little humor.
But Alan has gotten a little bit better about flossing his teeth in front of the mirror. I will say that.
I just take 2 steps back.
That's it.
So now I'm flicking it on the floor.
That's fine. I don't see it sticking to the mirror.
So you're okay with me flicking it on the floor?
As long as I don't see it. So anyway, International Women's
International
Day.
Women's Day.
Take time to maybe, reach out to someone who could be maybe a mentor to you or somebody that can inspire you or, I just think it's really, that's just what I wanted to share today.
No, that's good, babe. Thanks for sharing that. I had a couple of women that you asked me to kind of
I asked Alan, is
do
there
the
any
same
woman
thing.
that inspires you? I said, but don't pick our moms because that's so easy. Everybody
Well,
always goes for the mom, right?
That is easy, but I'm going to pick my mom, and I'm going to give you some. I'm going to give you some reasons why.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to give you some reasons why.
Your mom is great.
Well, I don't guess I've talked a lot about my mom, other than she's she's from the Philippines. My mom, and I'm not going to spend 20 minutes on this. I just real quick. My mom was born in the Philippines during World War II. Japan actually occupied the Philippines when she was a baby. So it wasn't even their country when she was born. The Japanese, owned the Philippines. So they were in hiding. So they were out in the country, no running water, no electricity. My mom grew up on a farm, and she learned English in school, a little bit of English in school. She did administrative work later on as she grew up at an air base there called Clark Air Base, and that's where she met my dad. And my dad was in the service. He was in the United States Air Force. Well, my mom and dad, met and fell in love and got married. And she came to the United States in 1969, 70. When my mom came to the States, she was about 25 years old. She knew English, but it wasn't her first language, so she needed to learn English. She became a...
Conversational English is different.
Sure. She became a U.S. citizen, and I remember as a little boy, her studying the test to get her citizenship. I remember her looking at all that stuff. So she became a U.S. citizen. She didn't know how to drive. It's something we take for granted. My mom learned how to drive when she came to the States. Then she had 2 children. Later on, my mom ended up getting a college degree. She went back to Midwestern State University in the late 90s, it was about the late 90s. And she went back, got her degree. First person in her family to get a college degree from Midwestern State in Wichita Falls. And then she put me and my sister through college. I didn't pay for my college. It's one of the most outstanding achievements I can even think of for a parent to do for their child, especially one with my mother's background, who came from nothing and then was able to get her citizenship, go to work, and she got a great job at a company and became an HR manager there at the company and worked there for 25 years and saved up a lot of money in her 401k, saved up enough money in college funds to send me and my sister to college.
A good college.
Yeah, Texas Tech University. So, when Kelly asked me, think of some females that are, you look up to. The first person I thought of was my mother, just because of her story and how I think of, gosh, if I was in that position my mom came from, would I have been able to do that?
Right.
That's, to me, that's really inspiring.
You should get her record her story in her voice, so you could have that.
Yeah, but it's pretty amazing when you think about it. And, she came to the States with nothing, and then was able to do that. And then some others that I just jotted down. I remember when I was a kid, I was about 12 years old. They talked about this woman named Sally Ride. Do you remember Sally Ride?
The astronaut.
She was the first woman to go into space. And then when I was a kid, I never thought of women going into space. It was always astronauts, and I always thought,
you always assume they were
astronauts
men.
are men,
They're men. Yeah, they were.
And they were talking about Sally Ride, and I remember thinking, golly, that's something else, How cool is that? Even as a little boy, thinking, wow, that's really cool. She gets to go up into space, and just thinking that that's really pretty inspirational. And Sally Ride was the first U.S. woman astronaut into space, and then she went on the Challenger missions a couple of times.
Yeah.
And then I think she retired in 87 or something like that. But she passed away like 2012 or something. So, I don't think she was too old when she passed away. And then just some others I jotted down. Sally Ride in business. Another that's in business that's been really surrounded by a lot of controversy is Gina Carano. Now, Gina Carano is an actress, producer. She was an MMA fighter. And she's also happens to be a very attractive woman. She's my
That's Alan's crush.
She's my crush in Hall Pass. But
wait, Hall Pass?
Yes, and Hall Pass.
Oh, this is new information. This is new information.
But regardless of your political leanings and your beliefs there, I just really respect somebody who, especially in the business that she's in, which is entertainment and media, that she has ideas. And not everybody agrees with her ideas. And the people that disagree with her ideas, she doesn't vilify them. She doesn't call them evil. She doesn't do anything like that. She just sticks to what she believes. And a lot of people are really, really angry at her for doing that.
Well, she got canceled.
And she got canceled, and she got fired from Disney because of some of the ideas she had. Mm-hmm. So anyway, this isn't a political podcast, but I respect people that they have an idea and they think, you know what, there's people who aren't going to like me very much if I say this, but this is what I believe. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you can disagree with what I believe, and that's fine, So Gina Carano is one of the ladies I look up to. A couple of others in politics that I find very interesting. There's a woman in Baltimore named Kimberly Klacik, and she ran for Congress in Baltimore, and I just really enjoy her. She ran as a Republican, but if you look her up, you'll see that she ran on pro-business and trying to help the communities out in Baltimore, the really poor communities. And she had a lot of really interesting things to say about why she thought the communities ended up that way and what she would do to...
She didn't win.
And she didn't win, but what she would do to improve things up there. But again, she stuck to what she believes, and she's really kind of outgoing, fun to listen to. Another that I look up to is Kristi Noem, who is a governor in South Dakota. And Kristi Noem is just, I follow her on Instagram. She likes to hunt. She's
got great arms.
She's got really good arms. But she's
ripped.
But she's a really smart governor, in my opinion. She does a lot of great things for the people up there. And those are the kind of people that I look up to anyway. Yeah. They don't necessarily come from a lot, but they make the best of what they have, and they kind of stick to their plan, and, they just keep pushing.
Yeah, it's interesting, especially when you get into the politics things. It's like, even if you're not the same political party, you have to admire women who rise in the ranks of political parties, because they've really come a long way.
Yeah,
right?
For sure. Yeah.
So anyway, happy International Women's Day. A day late when you're listening to this. Celebrate all the women in your life. Allen, do you realize that after we, wrap up our podcast, we're like, I forgot to say something that was really important.
We do that all the time. We have so much to talk about.
All the time. Well, here's your chance to hear us say what we meant to say and actually be a part of the conversation. Join Allen and me on stereo for the A Sandwich and Some Lovin' bonus hour. We do it every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central. And we want you to join us.
And it's live.
It is live.
You can insert yourself in this conversation, ask questions while we're recording. How cool is that?
It's really a lot of fun. And look, if you don't show up for our stereo, it's just going to be Allen and me yapping at each other. We can do that anytime.
We do that on the daily.
We want you to join us. So please go download the stereo app right now. It's absolutely free. Follow me at Kellie Raspberry.
And me at the Alonzo 1971.
And join us Tuesday night, 7 Central on stereo. Again, it's a free app. Go to stereo, download that. Follow us both. I'm at Kellie Raspberry.
At the Alonzo 1971.
See you Tuesday night at 7 Central on stereo. And your mother does have an interesting story. You really should get her to document that on a video or something, because you're going to want to hang on to that. That's a beautiful story she has.
It's hard.
And she's told me a few things.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting, but to have her whole story. It's like with my grandmother, my grandmother Raspberry had the most interesting stories growing up. My family was dirt poor. My grandfather was a sharecropper. And some of the stories she told me, I was like, man, but back then we didn't have the technology really other than a tape recorder, to document all that. I wish I had. Hindsight. Right.
My mom tells me little stories here and there, but it's hard to get her, like you've seen, it's hard to get her to give you a recipe, because she keeps everything in her head. That's
the thing. I'm trying to, for Christmas, I was trying to get her to write down some recipes in her own handwriting and then get them made into, something, a gift for Allen and his sister, so they could have something, because I just think that's special. But she's like, every time I try to do it behind her back, she's like, oh, it's just in my head. You just come over one day and I'll show you. I'm like, I was trying to do it around the way and be a surprise. And now I'm flat out like, you need to write this down so I can make this a present. So we'll see for next time.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So look, Allen and I are very excited this time next week. Well, Allen's very excited because this time next week, we're going to be tooting around on an RV somewhere in Texas.
Tooting
around. And, camping and RVing are huge right now.
Huge.
If you were lucky enough to rent one before an RV before they were all snagged for spring break, well, that's great. But now what? You know, we all want to do it, but what do you do? Do you know what to pack? Do you know what you need for a great RV experience with your family? Well, you need backcountry.com. It's founded by a former Olympic skier. Backcountry.com has the best selection of outdoor gear and apparel for your next adventure. And when you shop at backcountry.com, you can pick up the phone and talk with a gearhead. So what's a gearhead? Well, gearheads are former pro athletes, Olympians, seasoned guides, expert skiers. Basically, they're experts who can give you a masterclass in the great outdoors. Anything from providing a detailed packing list for your next summit to gift recommendations for your outdoorsy friend to what transitional outdoor jacket you might need as we transition from winter into spring and then summer. Listen, they've got what you need at Backcountry with selections from Patagonia to Yeti to Big Agnes to Santa Cruz bicycles. Backcountry.com has thousands of your favorite brands and products for every outdoor adventure. Alan shared before about how you actually talked to a gearhead who helped you with some add-ons for your bike.
Yeah, I'm not a huge biker, but I'm a recreational biker. I wanted some saddlebags for my bike, and they're actually called panniers. And I talked to a gearhead. He asked me what model bike I had, and he pointed me to some of the panniers that Backcountry offers. And they fit like a glove, plenty of room. I can go to the grocery store on my bike and load them up and come back. It's great.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have known how to do that without a gearhead.
Yeah, and everything Backcountry sells is the highest quality, but the Backcountry gearheads, they are the real difference, and they're available 24/7 by phone, email, or by chat.
So go to backcountry.com/sandwich and enter promo code SANDWICH to get 15% off your first full-price purchase. Some exclusions apply. Go right now and get 15% off at backcountry.com/sandwich and enter promo code SANDWICH. That's backcountry.com/sandwich. And don't forget to enter that promo code SANDWICH.
All right, so by this time in the podcast, a lot of you are probably wondering why we have not talked about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. I'll tell you why. Alan doesn't want to hear it. I would talk about it for hours if I could. But here's the deal.
I'm not the only one that doesn't want to hear it. Not that our listeners don't. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there was a lot of backlash.
There was a lot of backlash. People still talk about it. But listen, this next podcast, Alan's not going to be here. Alan's got plans that don't include me, which is fine.
Well, they included you.
But I bailed.
Thank you.
Because it's ridiculous. I've got to... you want to tell them what you're doing? Go ahead and tell them what you're doing real quick.
I'm going to a Wednesday night concert at Billy Bob's in Fort Worth. Guys, I panicked when I saw that Hardy...
Alan loves Hardy.
I love Hardy. He's playing at Billy Bob's in Fort Worth, an acoustic show, an intimate acoustic show. And I saw that. I immediately bought 2 tickets.
And I, being a good sport, as you know I am, said, I'll go.
Right. But what we didn't do was kind of start reading the fine print. Well, they don't even start until 9 p.m.
They say they start at 9 p.m. You know how that goes. Billy Bob's is approximately an hour from where we live.
Yeah.
So to get over there, then to sit through a concert that may or may not start on time and then have to get back home because I've got to do the Kid Craddock morning show the next morning.
I'm nationally syndicated.
I'm like, there's just no way, Alan. I just don't think, it would wreck me.
Yeah, she'd be bushed.
I'd be wrecked. And so I told him, I said, I said, I'll go with you if you really want me to go because I don't want to disappoint him like that. I'll go. But why don't you ask Bad Influence Jeff to go? Because Bad Influence Jeff will go. So
I sent a little text over to Jeff, says, my man. He texts back, my man. And I said, what are you doing Wednesday night? He goes, nothing, brother. What's up? I said, you're going with me to Hardy. He said, my man. And there you go. That was it.
I know. And then he added, you'll have more fun with me anyway.
He did. He did say that.
So, and then I told Alan, it's going to be so late. Just get a room, stay over there. Don't be driving back late, especially if you have a couple of beers or whatever. It's fine. So I'm going to be doing the podcast.
Han Solo.
Well, maybe not solo. I might have a special guest, but that's not in stone yet.
A special
right now.
guest, wow.
But it might be just me, and I can talk about whatever I want. And it might be Meghan and Harry. Granted, by the time we record the next podcast, there's going to be so much there's so much time has passed between the big Oprah interview on Sunday night. But here's the thing. The fallout from that interview is coming because now the palace has gotten to hear it and they're going to have a rebuttal to all this stuff and the smear campaigns. It's been really interesting to see how we all watched the same interview, or maybe you didn't watch it, I don't know. But if you watched the same interview as I did and other people that watched it, it's so interesting to see the different perspectives. Like for me, I'm heartbroken, and the other people are like, you're just whining and complaining and da-da-da. So it's really been interesting, but maybe we'll talk about Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. Maybe we won't. But the point is Alan's not going to be with us on the next podcast.
Are you sad?
Well, of course I'll miss you.
Oh, okay.
But it could also be a really fun girls' night. We'll see.
Good dear listener, I will like to let you know that I told Kelly, look, I can call you.
I said, no, don't worry about it.
And she said, no. And I'm like, well,
don't
okay.
worry about it.
Okay.
It's fine.
I guess I won't do the podcast then.
It's just, I don't even know. It's complicated trying to figure out stuff.
How is that complicated?
It's going to be hard enough for me to figure out how to, I know how to
my
press the record button. You've got to teach me how to upload a podcast and send it in.
It's so easy.
I don't know. I've never done it.
Child's Play, Bob.
That's a reference.
To the abducted in plain sight. Yeah.
Anyway,
it's Child's Play,
so
Bob.
it's going to be interesting. So I'm going to be doing the podcast solo, possibly with a guest that's not Alan next time, that may or may not get uploaded correctly.
Who might it be?
Well, I've got some possibilities.
Why don't you get the ladies from the cul-de-sac?
Oh, man.
Sack.
Because I've only got 2 microphones. We'll see. It'll be a fun little surprise.
Get ED to bring us 2 more.
It'll be a fun little surprise. I have to make some phone calls.
I'm trying to think of who else we could.
I got to make some phone calls.
I know you got to make some phone calls. Don't be looking at me like I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't mention any names because I don't want to be getting people's hopes up and disappoint them.
Why don't you ask one of our good, strong listeners in the chat room?
See?
Or in the live auditorium.
Here he goes. So anyway, tune in next time for the mystery guest. Or just me. We'll see.
Okay.
But anyway, thank y'all for hanging out with us.
Oh,
for
wow.
The podcast.
Okay.
Babe, look at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we're just about done. We cover everything we wanted
to. We did. Just a reminder to everybody that if you're interested in going on our podcast family vacation in July, it's going to be a huge trip.
Yeah.
Go to kellyandallen.com/vacation and you can just, send in your name and contact information just to get information about the trip if you're interested in going the week of July 4th. No obligation, just to get the information.
No obligation.
But man, we're selling some rooms. We're so excited.
Just real quick, I got a 1-minute story. Can I do a 1-minute story?
Sure.
I won another blue ribbon in the BOA.
The Battle of the Assholes.
BOTA, yeah, Battle of the Assholes. And this one happened at Starbucks. Mm-hmm. Have you ever been in a situation where you think you are so right about something, there is no way that you can be wrong? Mm-hmm. There's absolutely no way that you can be wrong.
But it turns out.
And nobody can convince you that you're wrong because you're right.
Yeah, until you're proven wrong.
Until you're proven wrong.
Right.
Sometimes that doesn't even convince you you're wrong.
Right.
Okay, here's what happened. Kelly and I roll to a Starbucks. It was kind of an odd time of day. So I roll into the Starbucks, which is one I go to all the time, and I notice some different people working there. They're not the normal crew. I'm not being mean when I say this, but they were the B team. They were kind of working in an odd time. It was
an off hour.
It was an off hour. So
you wouldn't put this team in like the height of rush hour, getting the coffee in and out. Okay.
No. So I roll up to the little teller there, and she says, or he says,
the barista, not a teller,
whatever you call him. I was not at a bank. I was at a Starbucks. A barista. And he says, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yeah." Kelly she wanted I said, "I'll have a grande chai tea latte."
Chai tea latte.
I don't know what that is.
Delicious if you have not had one.
I'll have a grande chai tea latte.
Hot.
And I will have a grande coffee with steamed almond milk and 2 Splendas. He goes, "Got you down, brother. That'll be whatever, $6.44. Put my card in, start walking away, standing there for about 30 seconds. He goes, "Here's your coffee." here, you can pick up the tea over there at where we put all the drinks or whatever. And he just handed me the coffee. He goes, here's your coffee. And I go, oh, okay, thanks. And I take it, and I'm just standing there. And I'm kind of waiting on the chai tea latte. And I take a sip of the coffee. I'm like, whoa, this is tea. This was your chai tea latte. It was a hot chai tea latte. Now, I can tell the difference between tea and coffee. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I'm like, okay. So I go back up to the guy, and I said, I'm sorry, this is tea. And he goes, no, that's coffee. And I kind of looked at him, and I said, no, this is tea. And he looked back at me, and he said, I made that. That's coffee.
He didn't know who he was dealing with.
And I kind of lean in a little bit.
Yeah.
I kind of lean in a little bit and kind of looked at him with a little bit of the side eye, and I said, no, sir, this is tea. I just tasted it.
They could go on all day.
Yeah. I said, I just tasted it. He said, I made it. And I said, that may be true, but I just drank it, and it's tea. He goes, then I'll remake it. And I go, thank you, because this is tea. And I'm like, why is he arguing with me?
Because he made it.
I just paid him $4 for the freaking coffee.
But he made it.
He made a tea. He didn't make a coffee. He made a tea.
And the moral of the story is?
The moral of the story is I won Battle of the Assholes because I was the bigger asshole. But, I mean, why was he so convinced that he made me a coffee? It was a tea.
Babe, I wasn't there. I was waiting in the car.
Right.
I'm glad I wasn't there for that very tense moment.
So he dumps out this whole thing of tea and then remakes the coffee, and then he has to make another chai tea latte. I could have just kept that one and then just make me a coffee. But he was going to show me, no. I made that coffee, so I'm going to dump it out in front of you because you're the wrong and you're the asshole. No, I'm not the asshole.
What did he make the second time?
You're the asshole.
What did he make the second time?
Coffee.
Right?
And then he had to make another tea.
For me.
For you.
Which wasn't that hot, let's be honest. Do you feel better now that you got that?
Thank you.
Literally
Thank you. I got that off my chest.
Did not let us end the podcast until you could tell that story.
Now here's one more here. Alan, you get all worked up about stuff like broccoli and tea and coffee. What's the matter with you? Why don't you just chill out a little bit, man? A lot worse things going on. There's COVID. There's the royal family. You be nicer to Kelly.
How did I get dragged into this? I didn't do anything.
All right, babe. That's it.
Good.
Blue ribbon winner right here. BOTA.
Battle of the Assholes.
Battle of the
That's my
Assholes.
husband right there. All right.
All
Thank
right.
y'all for joining us for the podcast. We appreciate you so much. And we'll see you, next time. Maybe just me, maybe with a special guest in a week from now on the open road.
All right. Well, I love you desperately.
Love you.
Love our listeners desperately. I love Starbucks baristas desperately.
You just had just a bad day.
Even when he's convinced that he made me coffee, when he didn't. But I'm sure we'll podcast again real soon. And in the immortal words of the great Keanu Reeves, life is good when you have a good sandwich.
Bye. Alan, I always love doing a Sandwich and Some Lovin' podcast with you, but now I'm really loving doing our bonus hour on stereo.
Stereo, Tuesdays at 7 p.m.
Yeah, 7 p.m. Central Time. Remember that, because we don't want you to miss it. We want you to be part of the conversation. If you're like, I don't really understand, what do you mean by stereo? Well, if you missed last week, here's a little piece of what you might have missed.
I'm currently kind of prospecting on Bumble. Do you have any suggestions on the first thing that should be said in a message?
Oh, see, Bumble, that's how
That's a
Alan
good
and I
one for
met.
you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how Alan and I met. And the thing about Bumble, if you haven't been on a dating app ever, with Bumble, the woman has to make the first communication. There has to be a match, like you both have to swipe right on each other, but the woman reaches out first. And my line was always pretty the same. Like, it was just kind of like, thank you for swiping right on me. Otherwise, this would have been really awkward.
So if you want to be part of the conversation, join us Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Central on Stereo. How do you do that? You download the app. It's absolutely free, the Stereo app. Then follow me at Kelly Raspberry.
And me at the Alonzo 1971.
It's that simple. You'll be notified when we're going live 7 p.m. Central on Tuesday nights. Again, download the free Stereo app. Follow us both. I'm at Kelly Raspberry.
At the Alonzo 1971 here.
And we'll see you Tuesday nights at 7 p.m. Central on Stereo.
Boom.